Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. How to bring more clarity, confidence, and creativity to everything you do. Today I want to talk about those feelings that just seem to not make any sense. You know, it's one thing if we feel something and we can go, okay, well, I know why I feel that. Whether we're pleased with a feeling or not, at least we understand it. But when we have a feeling that we can't understand, that doesn't seem to make any sense, I know I shouldn't be feeling this, but I do. That sets up an internal struggle that can lead to another problematic feeling, maybe confusion, maybe annoyance, maybe a lack of confidence in our own judgment or our own ability to make a difference in our lives. You know, if someone were bitten by a dog when they were very small, they might be afraid of another dog later on. Now, intellectually, coming from this upper 80% of the brain, they know this is a different dog. This may be a very friendly dog. The dog's wagging their tail. The people say this is a friendly dog. So I know I shouldn't be afraid, but I am. So what do I trust? What do I know or what do I feel? And I think that's a question we've got to be clear about, because sometimes trusting what we feel versus what we know is good, because we'll have kind of a sixth sense of something's off, something's wrong, a gut feeling, so to speak. And if we don't trust that, we can get ourselves into situations that we weren't able to assess going into them, except for that feeling. On the other hand, when we can recognize that some feeling isn't making sense, what we can do is say, okay, there's a reason why this feeling isn't making sense. We can make sense out of the fact that it's not making sense. Here's how we do that. We understand how our brain works. For those of you who follow my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy, you know we got the brainstem, lower part of the brain, middle part of the brain, limbic system, interpreter, scanner, router part of the brain, and then that upper 80% of the brain, the neocortex, what I call the top of the mind, where we have access to all of our skills and qualities and characteristics and purposefulness. Well, this lower 20% of the brain is designed to react. It's not designed to be rational. It's not designed to make sense. It's just designed to react. If something is thrown at us, we want to be able to duck without having to think about that, without having to make sense that there is something coming toward me, I better duck. We'd never duck. So we've got this lower 20% of the brain that is hypersensitive to what it thinks we need to be afraid of. You know, a long time ago it protected us from saber-toothed tigers in the jungle. Now we're not in quite so many fight or flight situations. You don't need that protection, but it's still operating in this overprotective mode. So what it does is it encodes any negative situation, anything it thinks we need to be afraid of. And then when any similar situation comes into our life, it engages that encoding and we find ourselves reacting to it. If we can go, okay, wait a minute, this is my old limbic system brainstem reacting to something in the past. The good news is right now this is a friendly dog, and I want to be more comfortable around friendly dogs. So I get to use my upper 80% of the brain. Okay, how do I tell the difference between a friendly dog and a not friendly dog? I bet Google will tell you a whole bunch of things about that. There are signs that dogs give you. There are ways of understanding our world around us that lets us know whether to trust what we know or what we feel. But what we don't want to do is get confused by our confusion or anxious about our anxiety when we find ourselves knowing one thing, feeling another, and thinking somehow that's wrong and bad or something's wrong with us. The reason that is happening is because this lower 20% of the brain doesn't reason things out. It doesn't make sense, it just reacts. We want it to do that when we need it to, but when it is reacting in a way that's getting in the way of our clarity, confidence, our creativity, reacting in a way we wouldn't recommend to someone we love, then we want to bring in that upper 80% of the brain, override that. And what we'll need to do is kind of say, okay, I know I'm feeling this, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's a book out there called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Never read the book, but I love the title. It's kind of like going into a dark room when we were little kids. We were scared of it, but if we met, okay, I know I'm safe. I know I'm safe. We trusted what we knew. We went into the dark room, and when we went into the dark room enough at times, pretty soon that old fear fades away. So if we'll just kind of make sense out of the fact that it doesn't make sense, and then bring in this upper 80% of the brain to trust what to do next, we can begin to minimize those old reactive fears so that they are no longer affecting our life. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm having a wonderful time bringing them to you. If you do, please hit the like button. Tell your friends. Share it with your friends if you would. Feel free to leave your comments. I always read them and I respond to them whenever I can below either YouTube or Facebook or Pinterest or any of those social medias, wherever you're watching this. If you want me to come and do a workshop for your organization around dealing with stress, difficult people, leadership, customer service, whatever, this is what I do. I bring in the upper 80% of the brain, how to bring that to helping you and your organization be their best. If you want to work with me as a psychologist, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in. The website, by the way, is Ph.D.com, BillCrawfordPh.com, or just Google Bill Crawford, Ph.D. I'll come up on the first page. In the meantime, here's to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, and creativity into everything you think and feel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.